good days there. Hello, we can do plan they bring down the one. Okay, may I have the tickets, please? I only have one class. Oh, I don't go there for tomorrow. Good luck with that. I got home.
You don't mind falling off the grass, I
I do. I have a daughter and I can't go on Right. Okay, welcome to the gondola, everyone. I'm Samantha Duncan, your tour guide for this morning's tour. And you're going to be in this basket here for the next hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll be passing our camera lady, so do remember to smile and wave. Oh. Hi, Fuji. Hey. That was nice and pretty for you guys. This is Chanel, our camera lady, so smile and wave.
I like your hairstyle.
Mama, I was just about to say that.
You have to pay.
I just roll down here.
Okay, you've actually entered the third largest rainforested area on this island. And you'll be going 1.25 miles into the forest. Coming out the same 1.25 miles, but you are going to be on a higher cable. Ooh. Now, as you go through the tram line, I'll be telling you about the forest. We have some honey on the right there. Ooh, there we go. I'll be telling you about the forest and about the island. That's a purpose-protected hummingbird.
Very small one.
Humming.
And you'll also be getting lots of moments of silence to enjoy the ambience of our rainforest, which is just as quiet as you're hearing now, minus my voice. The forest is always nice and quiet with just a few birds chirping. The animal life is not very vast. To see the animal life, you'd have to be on the rainforest floor. And the good thing about the rainforest is it's bubbling with life. But to actually see the life in the rainforest, you have to stay on the forest floor for a long period of time. Pretty quiet. Because the animals down there are mostly rodents like mongoose, agates, opossums, wild boars,
Sea plants,
lizards, iguanas. And these are what we have on our forest floor. So to see these, you actually have to walk and
sea plants.
The line that I was zip line up, that's actually the adrenaline line, is what I call it. It's called the adrenaline. I call it the adrenaline line, but this is zipping, hiking, diving up, swimming, and rappelling. There's one talk today. I think it's, yeah. There's a trail on the forest floor down there. This is part of the tour this morning. So if you are interested in doing a short 15 to 20 minute walk after the ride, we do this immediately after. If you're not, that's okay. It's optional. Your decision whether you want to do the walk or not. So if you say no, I take you down to the restaurant to get your complimentary drinks. And when your bus is ready, we'll be boarding you to return to your favorite hotel. We have stopped. It's not because we're out of gas. This is actually, we stop when a group of places are coming on or a group of places are coming off the gondola. We will stop. The wildlife currently user because we don't have much wildlife like many other countries. So conservation efforts have been put in place since the 1990s. Tourism became the main income earner. As you guys come, we want you to see both the fauna and the flora and enjoy it alive and nice. The birds are allowed to play in the forest. Even the snakes, which are not on the endangered species list, but you're still not allowed to kill them. But we've been here for about 8 years, going on 9, and the company opened the doors for business 21st March 2006. I came in July that year, and we haven't seen any snakes in here. I'm a born St. Lucian, so I can tell you this island does have snakes. I'm sure it has a lot. If you guys want to see a few, go down there. But in here, we haven't had any sightings of them. Neither the boa constrictors, neither the pit vipers or the fudilans, which is the only venomous snakes on the island. So that's 2 snakes I've named, but we have 4 on St. Lucia. We have the worm snake found in the forest also. And this island also boasts the rarest snake in the world called the kues. The kues, also known as the St. Lucian racer, can be found only in St. Lucia and can be found only at the Maria Islands on the eastern side. Right now the population is dwindling, so they're trying to figure out why the population is not growing, is now decreasing. season, it's a dry rainy season. I've been had rain for a while. So the ravine, it doesn't really dry out completely, but it's not really flowing heavily right now. The ravines and rivers are significant. 85 large water catchment areas or rivers on the island. There's lots of streams. And in there you will get crayfish, crabs, eels, snake. Oh, there's an oriole. Oh, I can see them. I just saw the orange stripe. Remember Sorry to go again. There were two. Oh, they're just how lucky this is. There were two males, black and white. And the two is a pot. So the ravine you see down there, you would get crayfish, crabs, eels, and snails down there, but in this particular area you get the baby crayfish. The crayfish, if you go lower down to the largest pools, that's where you get the bigger. You can't do any catching in here, but away from the park, you can catch as much crayfish, eels, and snails at once. We also have freshwater fish in here, mullet. And in this area, the Catherine Waterworks Reserve, this area became a reserve in 1916 when it was designated for water preservation. So a water catchment area was placed in here to give the capital city drinking water. So the water which flows from it is good water. If we're hiking in here, we run out of water, me being a local, accustomed to drinking distillation water, drinking that river water would do nothing to me. It is clean water. Anywhere else I would trust it. But in here, you know how it is. But in here, that water is good for drinking. No animals live in here, everything is in its natural state. The only people that come in here usually when you come in here to do a little hike or when we come in here to trim the trees, but we keep this area in its natural state. Now the vines and lianas, intertwining is the tree there, that's the characteristic of a rainforest. There are a few others. If you're going for a rainforest, you must see things like vines and lianas, like these over here, the tires and swings in that area. And some of these vines actually tires and swings. You could actually swing on them. Some are vanilla vines, some are passion flowers, so these are passion fruits. And some of them, because of their fibrous nature, traditionally the locals would come into the forest and continues to grow. As the growth of the tree continues, what happens is the grip on the host tree would tighten. So we actually call it the death hug. So as that tree, the tree continues to grow, it tightens, so the other tree now tries to get nutrients. It cannot get the nutrients all the way to the top of the tree. So eventually what would happen is you have a scaffolding effect around the host tree, and the host tree would collapse within the ficus, so the tree does not topple over. The host would die and rot within the ficus, and when everything is said and done, the ficus would have a big hole in the middle of it. But still, as it continues to grow, that hole would close up. So the tree would end up closing up with the hole and looking as natural as it could possibly look. But you could always tell the difference because there are always grooves in it. So you could actually see some of them would actually remain whole, would have holes remaining in them. The incipidas need about 8 gallons of water every single day to survive. They need a lot of water. So you usually get ficuses grown near water areas or near ravines. They have actually embedded their main roots in the ravine area. That's why this particular one of them looks like it's going to be falling over. They've actually embedded its roots in the ravine to guarantee that it gets that water that it needs. You are going through an evergreen rainforest, so the forest is beautifully green every day of the year from January to December. We do have a few trees in here. We consider them to be hemi or semi-deciduous. We don't call them deciduous trees because they don't lose their leaves for 6 months. Deciduous trees lose their leaves for a long period of time to conserve water. There's always water in here. Tall trees lose their leaves for about a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks for the most. And the trees don't stay there for too long. As soon as the old leaves fall off, by the following week, the new leaves are already coming back up. We have steps climbing up on the left because we have a 3.5-hour trail tour, which is Gannett, which is the Apple Trail. Basically using the forest, the traditional route, hiking. There's a small water cascade down there on the right. I haven't had a rain in here for a while, so it's kind of low. We did have a beautiful waterfall a little higher up, but in 2010, Hurricane Thomas actually got rid of our waterfall for us. Yeah, that's the sound of a bird and hawk. Hawk, the second largest bird in the forest, the only predatory bird in the forest. But I haven't seen the bird. Okay, on the left here we have this tree here with the shiny leaves, green pods. This is called Pom-Pom China or Exostoma Santa Lucia or China. Suffering from malaria, you'll be given quinine or quinine salts. This is the tree where the real quinine comes from. You take the bark of those trees when they are fully grown. These are just baby trees, but when they're fully grown, you take the bark of it. And the more developed countries, they get the raw material out of it to make the quinine or quinine salt. Also, on the island, this is very medicinal. You can actually use this after a woman gives birth to a baby by midwife. They give her tea to drink from this to help her placenta. It's also used for arthritis and menstrual cramps on the island.
Wow.
I would like to welcome you to my medicine cabinet. In here, you'll find the cures and also the reliefs for all the sicknesses that you would have. In St. Lucia, we believe in a lot of herbal remedies. So if you get a headache, the first thing we would give you is not a Fenvic. If you're in probably one of the, like especially at my granny's home, she'd give you a nutmeg. Tell you grate it and put it on a piece of cloth, put it on your head and go on the sofa and rest for about 5 minutes. Don't know what's in that, it's worked all my life, stops the headache. So many of the herbal remedies, though they may not work for a long time, but they give you enough rain and 10 after Hurricane Tomas. We actually came in to check to see if any of our parrots were dead and so on. We did not, or so we didn't or we haven't found one corpse of a dead parrot. The parrots who stayed in this area, what they did is they actually nested where we are right now. But after the hurricane, I guess it scared them because they're just like us, they had not seen a hurricane. And they actually flew over to an area called Lucia to nest. So I will show you the mountain in a little while where they're nesting. And because they went over there, we don't get many sightings like we used to. But we see them when they're flying over for feeding back and forth early in the morning. Okay, we're almost at the top. So you almost completed 1.25 miles way in. Welcome to Top Station. That's an endemic flower, Micronia segunda, the red bloom. You won't see this bloom anywhere else in the world but on this island. The hurricane actually flew down the tree, but it's still alive. We have wild nutmeg up here. Swazi Caribbean on the left here. It resembles a nutmeg, mimics it in every way, but it's not a spice. It just looks like it. This is towers 9, 10, and 11. So towers 12 is in front of us. When we get to Tower 12, we'll be making a left turn and going up to the higher portion of our ride. Welcome to Gourmet and Chantilly Association. This is the area you'll find the tallest of trees growing. Gourmet, there we have a Chantilly on the right here. And we have a Gourmet, well there's one on each side. There's a Gourmet on the right over there and one on the left here. Both sides have the same tree. So those straight back trees, we use them to make the Dagalpinu. That's a very young tree. You have to wait for it to grow older. The oldest Gourmet trees would not be found in here. You have to go to the south and hike in order to get these trees. But we still make canoes with them. But there's a ban on cutting too many, so fiberglass boats were introduced into the island in the 1980s to save the species of the Gourmet. And the Chantilly traditionally would cut them down to make lumber. They are first-class hardwoods. They make lumber for building homes. There's a ban on cutting that also. We don't have many in the forest, so we need my 5-year-old Zoe to see those trees when she gets older. So we import everything into the island for construction. Good morning, Akeem.
Hello.
You play the Million Rush? You play the Million Rush? Now games on your phone, man. I have that. I have that. I have these things. And an exciting game to make me want to throw the phone when I lose. I don't Candy Crush, everybody in Candy Crush. I haven't played chess in a while. You can play chess. I like chess. I can play. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Okay, you're putting a higher point on the ride, which is 120 feet off the ground.
Wow.
And you'll get a beautiful view of the northern end of the island.
God.
the only thing missing is Martinique today. Again, in front of us, we're looking directly north of the island on a very bright and clear day. The island's alive. So I have no Martinique. Usually you'd see the silhouette of Martinique directly in front of us over the horizon, but it's not there today. It's kind of cloudy. But Martinique. Now this area is, well, that's very large compared to other areas. There's about 3,442 acres. But the company has been listed 250 acres for the next 50 years. So we are allowed to operate here for the next 50 years if we abide according to the bylaws, which we've been doing so far. The only thing that destroys this area would be our hurricanes and storms. Last year was a good one, so we're praying this year is another good one. Didn't have many hurricanes. I know.
In a hurry.
Yeah, I can take all the photos you want around here. You are the ones in a hurry right across.
Sorry.
快给他照相。